This is insane. I just can't believe this. Car's hopped out of the car because he thought we were going to roll it. That's just put a call to the radio for help. Lost a moment of concentration and he's gone down over the edge of the bank. Have you ever heard of Gunshot Creek car? They're basically what to do. Can't believe this track we've stumbled across out here. I've made it to Abercrombie River National Park. We sort of spent the last hour and a half weaving our way through all the back roads to come in this back way of it rather than going the full way around. I'll show on the map a bit later sort of where we came from. And then this is Abercrombie Fire Trail that we're coming in now. Super keen to get in there and head down the bottom for a swim. Here we are up there, we're sort of coming this back way and we're heading this Abercrombie Fire Trail into the park now. I don't know what way we'll go once we get in there, we'll sort of work that out I guess. We're just going to get down to the river for a swim. I've made it down onto the Abercrombie River here. It's beautiful little creek flowing through the area. I think we're going to jump straight in for a swim and cool off. Just going to set ourselves up here in the river for some lunch. Relax, enjoy it. Such a beautiful spot here on the river. No one else around. We just sat here for about 2.5 hours. Had some lunch, played some chess, went for a swim all down along the creek there. What a way to spend a summer's day. I'm not always the best at relaxing, which is I think one of the reasons I can do these videos, because I'm always running the camera around everywhere like a lunatic because I'm not that good at relaxing anyway. I was just thinking before this trip, been away 9 or 10 days, I've been in a new spot every single night. I'm not someone who sort of goes camping and sets up somewhere for a few days and just sits around and relax. We like to keep traveling and keep exploring and checking out new places, but I do try and remember to, you know, when you get to a nice spot like this, just sit and chill and take it all in for a few hours rather than thinking you just have to keep going and going and going and get to the next spot, get to the next spot, get to these places and soak them in for a few hours. We are packing up now though. We'll head up on out of here and sort of up this mountain and down the other side, and we'll come back across this creek a couple of times and check out a couple of the campgrounds and see what we find out here. As I said before, we have been to Abercrombie River National Park. You and I actually came here about 3 years ago. It's a 4-wheel drive only national park. It's just kind of a big loop through the whole park of like a steep up and down 4-wheel drive trail. Now I think this is a really good place to come if you're sort of new to 4-wheel driving, because it's got some really steep hills in it, a couple of little creek crossings, but they keep it reasonably well maintained, so there's nothing sort of extreme or too challenging out here. And it's such a beautiful area. There's a few campsites spread along the creeks as you make your way through the mountain ranges. The plan is to just sort of explore this, explore around this loop and explore out here and see what we can find and find ourselves a camp spot and stuff like that. Winding our way through the area, and this is the beach campground we're pulled up now, which I never came to this spot last time I was out here because it kind of cuts off the main road and drops down to a dead end down here. But what a beautiful spot. You can sort of drive up and down the creek here for a few hundred metres, and there's heaps of nice camp spots all along it. I don't know if we'll camp here. It's only about 4 o'clock. I was keen to do a little bit more exploring, but it's bloody nice down here. We're going to have another swim though, because car thermometer is saying 37 degrees Celsius. I feel like I should say Celsius because I know people from overseas watch these videos as well. But yeah, it's bloody hot. I should just leave my hair like this for the video car. Do you think anyone will notice? We decided that we couldn't leave this spot here, so just moved the car up onto some flatter ground here, leveled it out a bit, and we're going to set up camp for the night here. Got to make the most of these places and no one else here. This is a question a lot of people had when I did the train canopy. Where am I going to put firewood now? Well, sort of been able to collect it close to camp generally. I haven't really needed to lug too much around with me, but today, because in National Park, couldn't collect any in here, so I collected some earlier and just chucked it in the spare wheel, dirty clothes, rubbish bag or whatever. You fit a decent amount in there. If I need to collect more, then I'll just put it in like one of those drifter rubbish bags and tie it on the roof, or just chuck it in the canopy, like same as someone with a wagon, I guess. Don't really need anything too fancy to get me by for the moment. We're not going to do the fire or anything just yet. It's still pretty hot. We're going to wait till that sun drops down and starts cooling down. Going to just heat up some leftover dinner. We're getting pretty hungry, some spaghetti bolognese. When I come on these bigger trips, I sort of plan and pack for about 5 meals normally when we leave home. And then each of those meals will have leftovers for another night. Plus I got toasted sandwiches and that, so it gives me enough food for maybe 12 nights or so while we're away. I try and like get as much as I can so we don't have to go to the shops all the time, and then after that 12 days just sort of go do a restock. We did stop in Orange and pick up a few bits and pieces there one day. Super peaceful down here. I did think we were going to get a storm 20 minutes ago. We had some thunder rolling in and some dark clouds, but they seem to be thinning out again. May end up getting a bit of a shower later on. Got the rooftop tent all set up. Do you reckon I should just leave my hair like this for the rest of the trip, Kai, and just not say why it's like this and see how many people I can upset and trigger?
Do you actually think people will get triggered?
Yeah. They'll be like, why the hell is your hair like that? Get this fire going, its sun's gone down, starting to cool off a little bit. So the wind seems to be blowing it straight into the tent. I didn't work that out too well, but that's the good thing about the fire pit. You can pick it up and move it somewhere else. Just in the process of packing up camp now, and we'll head up back onto the main fire trail and then make the sort of loop drive out of here. There's one main sort of loop pretty much around the whole park, and then there's also one that cuts through the middle. I think we'll just do the loop drive all the way out. It's quite dry out here at the moment, and some of these super steep hills are getting quite scrabbly, and you gotta give it a little bit, and you're spinning wheels and that trying to get up them. We're probably the majority of the way out of this park now. We've just pulled up on this little creek. I don't actually know what this one's called. There's quite a few different creeks that run through this area. The Abercrombie River is the main one, which has the most water in it. Then there's quite a few other nice little ones like this as well. But similar to yesterday, we found ourselves a shady spot with a little track here that comes down onto it, and we're going to have a swim and then sit around and relax and enjoy it for a bit before we head out of here. So nice. Master Kai has requested cheesy pasta in the creek for lunch. I don't know how well it's going to work, because I'm just going to tip some leftover pasta from last night in the fry pan and melt a heap of cheese with it and see what happens. There we go. Cheesy pasta complete.
Dude, what the hell?
And some butter too.
How does butter help?
Just seemed like some butter would be a good idea.
No, it tastes a bit like cheesy pasta, actually.
Well, of course, it's pasta with cheese. What more do you want?
Here's your cheesy pasta.
Alright, I want a rating out of 10.
0.
0. Hot out of 10.
6.5.
6.5.
Come on.
That's bush cheesy pasta.
It's 4 ingredients.
Well, 4 good ingredients. Making the final few Ks out of here now. I've taken a bit of a side loop track, a bit of a different way to the main way out, and we got turning into an interesting track. This is quite the hill climb here. There's some decent rocks and step in it as I navigate my way up between the trees here. I'm trying to see on the map here what this one is actually called. I don't want to hit those trees. They've got that rear locker in. Having a rear locker makes such a difference on these sort of hill climbs. Like, you drive up it without it, but much less wheel spin, much more controlled. Tavern Creek Trail, this one's called. It should take us out, just loops around a bit of a different way. I've got to run back down and get the camera now. This track just keeps getting more and more interesting. Definitely got to give this one a go if you come out here. This is sort of really rugged country through all this. That's the exit up out of the creek. And that's the entrance. Well, not really a creek, a dried creek bed. Straddle that hole there. There is an easier track around that one, but might just come down the main one for fun. But then that's the only way up there that I can see. And then looks like it keeps just going up that hill with ruts. We didn't end up getting too much further on the next trail, which is Little Bald Hill Fire Trail, I think. It's quite steep down that way, and then I've walked up where it goes, and it goes pretty bloody steep up that hill tomorrow. But yeah, we found ourselves a nice little grassy spot here on the edge of this creek, and we thought there's no point rushing out of here. We may as well sit around and enjoy this. Just set up our little camp here. We'll get the fire going soon. And then we'll head out of here first thing in the morning, because tomorrow we head up out of here. I run out of fuel as well, down about a quarter tank. We were able to get out of here and should be able to shoot down to Goulburn. Why am I saying Goulburn? We'll get fuel, restock on some food there for a few days. I'd say we'll do another few days. We'll stay Wednesday. Probably keep going on this trip till Saturday or Sunday and then head home. But from Goulburn, we're going to head over to Yarwell area, I think it is, which I've never been to. I'm going to explore that area out there. I've been meaning to say as well, you can't really see it from this angle, but my rooftop tent is covered in dints, and the bonnet of my car, and various places on my car as well. Before this trip, my car got absolutely annihilated by a massive hailstorm where we live, which is pretty upsetting, but I've got over it now. Gonna have to sort that out when I get home from this trip. I don't know, I'll probably claim it under insurance, I guess, and get it all fixed up. I kind of think, you know, is there really any point to spend on the insurance excess, and then my premiums go up and everything else when I just destroy this car out the bush anyway. But that's why the rooftop tent has dints all over it. The rooftop tent is also something I get asked about all the time. I've done a couple of videos on it. I may just do like a full sit down and review on it after using it for however long I have been, 6 to 8 months now. But then a heap of people get upset with me because they just say I'm doing like a sponsored rooftop tent video, so you can't win that one. But then people ask you every single day, so I'll just do a video on it just to do my honest thoughts and sit down of what I think of it. But I do like it. I am very happy with it. Keeps the dust and water out really well. You get a little bit of moisture under the mattress, so just kind of lift the mattress up, put something under it and air it out from time to time, or pull the whole thing out. The seals seem to keep the dust out quite well. Keeps the water out really well. I did do the mattress upgrade, so it's got the upgraded 100mm mattress in there of the wooden floor now, which is super comfy. But yeah, I sometimes think, should I go back to the swag? But I do really like that rooftop tent. They're really good. It's just so comfy up there with that nice thick mattress. You're up off the ground, you know, you can camp on whatever surface. I just use the rocks to level the car out a bit. Nice, cool, breezy up there. View out over everything. I really like it. Quickly show the maps I've been using for this trip as well, because that's a question I get all the time about maps and guiding myself. On my phone, I'm using the Gaia GPS, which works really well off-road, and it actually links up to my car, which Kai only figured out for me today. Links up to my Apple CarPlay on my car, but normally I just use it on my phone, which will give me pinpoint of where I am and all the tracks around. So that's Gaia GPS, which works quite well for the you know, the day-to-day driving and guiding myself. But I also keep a heap of paper maps as well. I bought a heap of different ones this trip because I wasn't exactly sure where we're going to end up. We were going to go the high country, but then they closed the borders. I thought, I'll bring it in case they open up the borders again and we duck across. And I didn't really know too much of where I was going this trip, so I just kind of brought a heap. Just bring them all and see what happens. This is the main one I've been using lately, which has worked quite well. So that's where we were a couple of days ago, over in that Pennsylvania State Forest. Then we kind of wound our way through all the back areas over into the back of this Abercrombie River National Park. And we came in, and then we've sort of done the loop all the way around the outside, and we're back over near the other exit over here now. It's actually where we are, Little Bald Hill. We're on that Little Bald Hill fire trail. Now we'll come out of there tomorrow, down to Goulburn over here, where we'll restock. Then we're going to head over this way, over to Yarwell and Nowra and all that. But I like the paper maps for a big overview of everything. Should you have a technology fail, you can sort of sit down and plan a big overall of where you're going to go.
Put him there. And it goes for 24 hours.
Gonna go for a little nighttime wash off at the creek before it gets completely dark, but it's quite dark already. Hot and sweaty from this afternoon. Hey Kai, you know how I solved the problem of not being able to see anything? Ultimate Nebo flashlight. We have light.
Don't you dare. Is that cold?
Not too bad. Nice.
Please don't.
was warming up quick this morning. Nearly finished packing up. I'm gonna have a quick swim again in that creek to cool off, and then we're gonna head up out this monstrous hill to get up out of here. Scratches I'm gonna have on this once I clean it up. I don't think it'll be too bad. We're out of the national park now. We're just nearly on the main tar road there, so I'll air these tyres up. Ended up being such an awesome drive out of there. It's kind of like a high country feel nearly, especially on those back tracks as well. It's definitely worth exploring those outer areas. There's more to that park than I originally thought. From here we're gonna head down to Goulburn where we'll get some fuel and food, and then we're gonna make our way over towards the coast, over to Nowra and Yarwell. Never been in that area. We're going to spend the last few days of this trip exploring out there, so I'll check back in a few hours when we get there. We are packing up now. We are packing up now though. We'll head on out of here and
that is the worst thing.
we're gonna heat up a little bit of dinner before we... Super peaceful down here. We're probably the majority way out of this park now. I've pulled up. Oh. But I like the paper max. But I like...
Serve to me, serve to me, serve to me, whoa, whoa, whoa.